Hello, thank you for joining us for this recorded webinar regarding TFAE Innovative Adventure Grants. Just a quick note about TFAE. We are a nonprofit that our goal is to raise funds to supplement and give resources to our Terrebonne Parish public school system. Since 2002, we have awarded more than $1.2 million to Terrebonne Parish public school teachers for supplies, technology, and to fund innovative and creative projects. So our Innovative Adventure Grants, these have taken the place of our teacher grants and school impact grants of the past. If you've applied with us before, those may look familiar to you. We have replaced those with this particular grant. And so this grant is about innovation, engagement of students, and creating an exciting learning process. Again, it's about innovative educational and developmental activities into your classroom. We want to help provide students with an innovative approach to learning. We know our teachers have great ideas. We know you know what to do in your classroom, and we just want to help you to be able to fund all those fun and exciting things that maybe there's not room in your budget to do, to go kind of outside the box. So our goal with this grant is to inspire you to explore and create creative strategies and to enhance learning for all. So as with all of our grants, you do need to be a Terrebonne Parish certified public school teacher employed full-time by TPSD to apply. But that includes pre-K through 12, art, band, library, any of those options is fine. All of our grants are blind read by retired educators and community members in our grant committee. And so it's important that within your grant narrative that you don't use any identifying factors so that they can remain unbiased. And then they're looking for the following. They're looking for innovation, so new ideas. It's not just asking about Chromebooks, although we've granted many Chromebooks in the past and we know that they're a great educational tool. We just want to make sure you're thinking big picture on how this is innovative, how are the students really going to be engaged with them. And it's about setting a stage for creativity, collaboration, and excellence. They're also looking for collaboration, so can you collaborate with any of these groups of people, students, your coworkers, parents, community? Who are you working with to make this grant project happen? And then lastly, sustainability. How will this project continue in the future? Can it be integrated for others to use? What are your plans to expand on it? Can you continue it years to come? So the fun part, how much money can you ask for? You can ask for as much as you want in this grant process. In the past, we had set limits, but we felt that really stifled what you wanted to ask for. And so there is no limit to the amount of money you can ask for in this grant. So your budget's going to include specific items. You can quote these from any store, any vendor, including online. Do just keep in mind tax and shipping when you're working out your budget. And then we're going to notify grant winners around mid-October. You'll know by then if you are going to receive this grant. And then we also ask that you send us pictures of the grants in action and that you can open your classroom if asked to us so that we can really showcase what you're doing and the impact it's having on your students. So before you apply for any grant, TPSD requires you to submit an intent to apply form. And we have a separate presentation on this very easy process, but it is a one-page form that you'll need to submit. And then for us, we're going to need a budget, proposal information, email from your principal saying they approve your project, and an email from Trisha Corbin approving technology. That's only if you are asking for technology in your grant application. So that email from your principal and Trisha, when you do your intent to apply, you are emailing your principal and Trisha Corbin, and so it's a two-in-one kind of process there. Whenever they email you back their approval, you just save that as a PDF. And we provide the budget sheet and the proposal information sheet on the website where you apply, and that's tfae.org/grant-information. So you'll have all of these items provided. So to apply, you'll go to our website, tfae.org/grant-information. It's also linked on the TPSD website. It's very important that you read the instructions before you apply. And then there's going to be an orange button that says click here for TFAE Innovative Adventure Grants. You want to make sure you are clicking on the correct grant because we do have 3 listed on the website. And so I'll pull that up for you now. So this is our grant information page. Again, we have different grants listed, so you want to make sure you're on the right one. It has all the information we kind of just went over, the deadline. And this right here is important. It tells you how to save your documents before you upload. And then here are those documents I was telling you about, the budget sheet and the proposal information sheet. And here's the orange button. You'll click to apply. And again, you're going to apply completely online. There's nothing to drop off. Everything will be submitted electronically. Right here is very important. It says, do not use any identifying information, your name, your school name, any other descriptions that would identify you or your school on this first page. That's very important because we will unfortunately have to disqualify any grant applications that somehow identify where you're from or you. And so we have this application broken up into a couple of different sections. We ask you specific questions that we'll need you to answer. And it's all just about your grant project. What are your goals? How are you going to evaluate it? Can you continue it next year? Different things like that. We ask you about your budget, to list the items you put in your budget and to tell us what you're going to use them for. Do remember that our grant committee is made of retired educators, and so if it's some new educational terms or acronyms, we may not know what they are. And then our community members, they're not necessarily from the education field. And so just make sure you're using plain terms when you're describing different items in your budget. And then, of course, very important, how does this foster academic excellence? And then your evaluation, how are you going to measure your grant outcomes? And then here's where you're going to upload your budget. You're going to choose the file, select it, and then go on. So right here it reminds you to please check what you've just typed before you hit submit, before you hit next page. Everything on this page cannot contain, again, any identifying information that includes school colors, school mascot, anything like that. If you click next page, which it won't let me do because we have some required fields that I didn't fill out, obviously, but on the next page, it's going to ask you to upload your proposal information sheet and your emails from your principal and your technology approval. And so obviously those pages are going to have identifying information. The grant committee only sees page 1 in your budget. I see page 2 and those other documents so that I know who this grant is for. And that's very important. So a couple of tips that we found out last year, our first year of submitting online applications. If you open up that application form and you are kind of just working on it as you go and you leave that browser open overnight, it's going to do like an automatic save, but when it does that, it sends your application as submitted, whatever you've already got on there. So what I suggest is if you are kind of working through the grant as you go, you can open the application and then type your answers in a Word document if you want to work on it over time. Do just make sure if you're going to copy and paste your answers into the application that your whole answer is there. Some of the questions have word counts limits, and so we found last year that it was cutting off some longer answers in those particular blanks. So just a tip, if you're going to leave it open overnight, it probably will send it automatically, and you'll have to resubmit. And so, or if you're going to go ahead and copy and paste to just make sure your whole answer is there. Again, just a reminder, do not put any identifying factors in your narrative or your budget. That includes a mascot, school colors, or any words that you think would identify you. The deadline is midnight, August 31st, 2020. It must be submitted online by that time to be considered. And if you have any questions, especially if this is your first time applying, we want you to be successful. So please do contact me. Right now, the easiest way is katie@tfae.org. We'd love to talk to you. We can kind of talk over your grant project and, just go through it and help in any way that we can. Again, the deadline is August 31st. Let us know if you have any questions, and we hope you are successful, and we wish you the best of luck.